He currently commands 121-meter reusable rockets, leads the most valuable automaker on Earth, and has positioned himself as a massive, polarizing figure in global politics. One person has managed to amass this much leverage across completely disconnected industries, not by following the standard rules of business, but by applying a single, high-stakes algorithm to every problem he faces. To find the origin of that system, we have to look back to Pretoria, South Africa. Risk was already a family trait. His maternal grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, was a daredevil adventurer and chiropractor who broke horses and moved his family across continents on a whim. But the survival instinct was truly sharpened when Musk was 12, at a paramilitary wilderness camp known as a Veldschool. The camp functioned like a brutal social experiment. Rations were intentionally scarce, and children were encouraged to fight over them. In this environment, physical dominance and bullying were treated as virtues necessary for survival. The camp rewarded those who fought for dominance. Musk internalized this survival logic, concluding that the world is a relentless struggle for resources, where safety is an illusion. He decided that the only way to avoid being a victim was to exert total control over the environment, a mindset that would eventually lead him to risk everything on ventures most investors considered impossible. He first tested this all-or-nothing approach in 1999, when he sold his software company Zip2 and personally walked away with $22 million. Most normal entrepreneurs would have simply retired. Instead, he put nearly every cent of that windfall into a highly volatile startup called X.com. He viewed banking through a technical lens. To him, money isn't power, it's information, a database for allocating resources. By treating finance as a real-time database problem, he built the infrastructure of PayPal, reducing the latency and errors of physical checks. Solving this digital inefficiency gave him a level of confidence and capital that he immediately prepared to launch into the physical world. When eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion in 2002, Musk received over $100 million in liquid capital. He executed a massive pivot, wagering his entire fortune to build both a private rocket manufacturer and an American electric car company simultaneously. By the 2008 financial crisis, both companies were on the verge of total collapse. He kept both firms solvent by instituting a system of extreme pressure, demanding a level of engineering output that pushed his staff to the absolute breaking point. This management style is built on a foundation of impossible deadlines. If an engineer cites physical limitations or suggests a task is impossible, they are fired immediately. Musk then takes over their specific project personally to demonstrate that his schedule can be met. The human cost is extreme burnout. Employees cite a lack of connection, noting people are treated like ammunition, used for a specific purpose until exhausted and discarded. Yet this environment produces results. At SpaceX, these demands led to the creation of Starship, a vehicle rivaling the International Space Station's payload volume. That pressure also yielded the Super Heavy booster, designed for total reusability, a feat once considered impossible. To Musk, employees are a resource to be burned through, identical to the rocket fuel required to propel his hardware toward Mars. He has now taken this same high-risk algorithm and applied it to the structure of society itself. After years of donating to both parties, his political contributions shifted almost entirely to right-wing candidates, culminating in a public endorsement and active support of Donald Trump. His acquisition of the platform X was a move to engineer global discourse using the same aggressive, uncompromising methodology he applied to electric cars and rockets. This political turn carries massive financial risks for his corporate brands, yet he continues to double down. This behavior traces directly back to the Veldschool survival camp. When he feels threatened or cornered, he immediately reverts to a combative, survival-of-the-fittest stance. Musk's response to the trauma of the childhood playground was to acquire the assets that define modern life, from the rockets that launch our satellites to the platforms where we speak. His personal appetite for risk now sets the boundaries for the global economy and the political landscape.